Hello and welcome to my video for the Wednesday Campanella album Pop Delivery. So this came out a few months ago, and it's the third project with the band's current lineup of the producer Kenmochi Hidefumi, and for the singer who joined the band in 2021, whose name is Utaha. So if you've seen my two other videos, you kind of know how I've talked about how, while they are a pop and kind of electronic group, they actually feature a lot of other genres as well. Some of these, which include hip hop and rock, and also drum and bass, and also very traditional music too. And this album is no exception. I would say the genres that they're working with here are still EDM and dubstep and pop, and now they're also integrating things like Latin pop and reggae, while still also keeping the sound of very traditional Japanese music as well as traditional Indian music. So this one is a lot more worldwide, if you will. It's kind of the same, but it's still taking influences from a lot of other cultures too. And for that reason, in my opinion, I would probably call this, at least for now, their most maximalist album. There are just sounds coming at you all the time, and each song sounds very unique compared to all of the others on the album. So for that reason too, I will be going through this album song by song just because there is such a smattering of all kinds of sounds here. So if you haven't seen my two other videos on this band, you should probably check those out. One, because I will be referencing some of the songs that are on those albums that I talk about. Two, it's really good for my channel views. And three, I think they're nice videos, so you should watch those, please. So with that out of the way, let's start with the first song, which is called Akaneko. Now, I have to say, Akaneko is a fantastic start to this album. It's got a ton of energy. It's just generally a very catchy song, and I think fans of dubstep and EDM in general are just really going to like this one. I had mentioned in my previous videos that I would love to see this band live at some kind of EDM festival. With all of these songs now out, I feel that even more intensely now. I can only imagine that their concerts just have all this like energy and fun to it that I just really want to experience that in person. So I'm hoping they come to the US at some point, but unfortunately that's just super unlikely at the moment. And I have to say too, the producer Kenmochi Hidefumi is just really giving it his all on this song. He's killing it. And although Utaha sounds very good on this whole album, I really think it's a standout project for Kenmochi just because he's really just experimenting all across this whole album, and it is like consistently just paying off and going really well. So hats off to him. I'm gonna try not to congratulate him every single song, but honest to God, he is just such an adept producer that it is remarkable, and it is truly astounding what he comes up with. Moving on to the second song, which is called Carolina. So this song's kind of goofy, kind of silly. It's about how hot Carolina Reaper peppers are. And this song really reminds me of that song from their first album called Himiko for two reasons. First, it just kind of sounds like a leftover from that album, just kind of stylistically and like sound-wise, and also kind of production kit-wise. And secondly, it also kind of follows the same kind of song progression in that you've got your singing part, and then very sudden rap part, back to singing, back to rap, yada yada yada. So that seems very one-to-one in my mind. And I mentioned this in my review for the EP Rapid Star. I really like how Utaha sounds when she raps in this kind of lower register, which is very uncharacteristic of the way she sings, which is in a fairly high-pitched voice. I think they're actually doing something in post to actually make her sound even deeper than normal. I can't quite tell for sure because I don't really know how low she can go, but this seems kind of absurdly low, which I still like. And generally, this song just has really playful production, and it sort of has this section towards the end where the sound is almost bubbling, sort of, and I just love that. I think that sounds super cool. So the third song is called Tama no Mae, and it also has this very maximalist EDM production on it. While I do like the song for the most part, there is this kind of annoying part of the hook that I don't really like. There's this part where she's like, konka kon, konka kon, konka kon, and I just don't like that. I think it sounds just kind of harsh, and I know the song sonically is just kind of harsh, but I think it could really go without this like little extra bit that just kind of pushes me over the edge. I'm just not really a fan of that. Speaking of the production too, Kenmochi is just insane. He is a madman. I think the production on this song is just on a whole other level. I don't know how he does it. It's crazy. I don't know where he keeps coming up with all these ideas. It is insane. So the fourth song is called Prince Shotoku. I get this song stuck in my head all the time. It's like crack. I just can't stop listening to it sometimes. And I think the main reason for that is the hook. It kind of changes throughout the song, but there's this just great cadence of like, Anato no hanashi ga kikitai wa. And it's like, oh God. I love the way that Utaha like sings and kind of enunciates on this song. It just sounds so good. And yeah, It's like crack. I can't get enough of it. There's a few instances on this whole album where that happens, and I think is why I enjoy this album as much as I do. At first, I was kind of iffy on this song just because it features this like traditional Japanese flute sound as part of the production. It's still a little weird against all of the electronic production in the instrumental, but I don't mind it as much, and it's kind of charming, so I'm sort of there for it. And her rap flow is just really good too. I really like it on this song. So yeah, I'm giving this one 2 thumbs up. So just imagine I got 2 because I'm holding it with my mic, and yeah, okay. So the next song is called Archimedes. It's okay. It's got lots of energy. Not my favorite. I just don't think it has enough really going for it to necessitate the song length. I also think the hook is a little on the weak side too for this one. And it really feels like they tried to kind of reproduce the popularity of the song Edison from their first album with Utaha. I think it's maybe the fact that it's about this very prolific Western inventor, philosopher, futurist, visionary person. And something about the production is also kind of reminiscent of that song too. Not really doing anything for me here. I will say the production is still really good on this song, as it normally is on this album. And so this is the one that features that kind of traditional Indian sound as well, which I think is interesting. It's weird to mix it in with a song about a Greek dude, but that's, okay, sure, I guess. Maybe 1 thumb up on this one. Not 2, but maybe at least 1. So the song after that is called Mermaid. And Mermaid's a little interesting. So this came out very shortly after that Rabbit Star EP came out. I really like the cover for this single. I'll leave it probably right here. It's kind of got this like JoJo pose aspect to it, and I really like the outfit that they had Utaha in. So for the song itself, I love the production here. This song starts off very reggae, but then turns into this like drum and bass song towards the end. That transition is super smooth, super natural. So I think this is another 2 thumbs up. And so I also just love the way that the song just kind of like builds up to that more electronic section in the back half. I just think it's really well done. So 2 thumbs. So the song after that is called Ghost and Rider. And Ghost and Rider was one of the singles for this album, and it is an absolute slapper. It is so good. It quite possibly has my favorite hook on the album, but man, I love this song. It's got really nice percussion. I think Utaha's singing cadence is just so perfect for the instrumental too. She has this very kind of cutesy line delivery, which is just so colorful and suits the song perfectly. I also get this very heavy like Owl City influence on this song too, and I think it's maybe because of the like strings used in the instrumental. There's just a lot that reminds me of the sound from Ocean Eyes by Owl City. So maybe they're using some of the same like sounds maybe, but there's just something about it that's just so Owl City. There's also this weirdo 1930s, 1940s like pre-bridge almost kind of halfway through the song, and it sounds exactly like something that Owl City did actually do on one of the songs on Ocean Eyes. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kenmochi is a fan of Owl City. I don't think that's the case, but God, would I love for that to be real. Oh my God. So I'm gonna give this song 3 thumbs up. Yup, it's that good. So the final song is called The Big Four, and this was also a single for the album as well. And this is definitely my favorite song on the album. It's called The Big Four, it should be called The Big Finish, I think. It is just a 10 out of 10 song, perfect in every single way. I love Utaha's rapping here. I love Utaha's singing here. It's got my favorite instrumental on the whole album, and I can confirm this bumps in the whip. Okay, it is so good, and it sounds fantastic in my car, in my shitty headphones, in my good headphones, on my phone, on my laptop. It's just so well like mixed and recorded, and just everything about it is pristine and beautiful and perfect. I really like the guitar flourishes that are throughout the song in the background. I think those suit the instrumental super well, and they're just super interesting. And I also find that this is a song that has a very like Latin pop kind of influence to it, and I think that helps the song stand out against the rest of their discography too. I think it's just so cool. So my closing thoughts on that are that it's the best song on the album, and it is just an absolutely fantastic album closing song too. Just knocked it right out of the park, but then it also leaves you wanting more, which they gotta come out with some more stuff sooner. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go werewolf. I need it. I need more right now. And yeah, those are my thoughts on each of the songs. I really like this album. I think it's got a lot of merit. I think it's got a lot of cool ideas, a lot of cool sounds. I think this project has some of the best production in the band's entire discography. And on top of that too, I just generally think that the songs are just really fun. I will say though that there's kind of those two songs that do detract from absolutely loving this album, and that would be Archimedes and Tama no Mae. They're fine songs, but I think they've just got too many qualities that just kind of detract from that overall experience that I'm just not the hugest fan of them. I am just so excited for whatever they come out with next. I just think that they have such a great track record with thinking outside the box in just every way that no matter what they make, I think it's going to be a slam dunk. So with all that said, I would rate this album an 8 out of 10. So the 8 out of 10 mainly comes from the fact that I don't really like Archimedes and I don't like Tama no Mae. And while I love Ghost and Rider and the Big Four a lot, there aren't really any other songs that kind of live up to my fondness of those two songs. I do really like Prince Shotoku. I do really like Carolina. I do really like Akaneko. I just love those last two songs so much, and I wish there was more on that level on this album. But unfortunately, we have to live with what we got. So, 8 out of 10. By no means a bad album. I love this album. So cool. If you're into electronic music, I think you'll like it no matter what. I think you'll have a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of songs on here that you will be saving to use in your playlist. And with that, we are now finished with the kind of trilogy of Wednesday Campanella New Age albums. So I hope you enjoyed this cute little journey we've kind of had. I really hope they come out with something next year. That's kind of their schedule so far. So hopefully I can review a new project of theirs soon. I don't think I'll be doing the live album because it's a live album, so there's no new real content there. Let's hope for the best for 2025 then. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. There will be another video here that you can watch if you're so inclined. And yeah, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.